talking about opening your third eye. Also talking about third eye superstitions and stupid people a little bit. We're talking about what happens when you don't build a foundation and work on your emotions. How to grow your third eye. We're going to show you some new science that will blow your third eye blind.
I feel like Luke Skywalker is way too small.
They're both way too small. That's Anakin.
No, oh, you're right. That in order to find your tribe, you have to stop playing with action figures, stop following the herd, start thinking for yourself and looking deeper to crack the code.
If you are just getting to know us.
I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From ZenRoseGarden.com.
.com. We are wild and crazy and zany just like you.
So let's talk about the third eye finally.
Yes.
Today, this is our 7th video of the last and 7th video of
final chapter of the final chapter
of this series on the third eye. And we wanted to do the dangers of the third eye last because there's
dangers.
If you've seen like all the videos out there's a lot of superstitions and fears. I'm going to see demons, or I saw this scary stuff and all this wild shit happen. We've talked about a lot of that through this whole series. And we talked about how, if you feed that fear and, what part of your brain is reacting when something crazy happens. But today we're going to talk about
dangers.
Like one specific thing that you can do to prevent negative things happening to you when your third eye kind of opens. And I want to talk about this a lot. We always say third eye opening like it's some big sudden opening. It is, but it's really more of a sudden expansion.
Right. And we decided to do this series for our #YouTube fam. Told you I love hashtags because we get so many questions about it. Regardless of the mystical symbolic location, the location really doesn't matter. It is the junction point in the brain that matters and the functions in the brain that matter.
Right. So regardless of where
junctions and functions inside of your brain, junctions and functions. That's going to be
I'm going to go on now. In this series, we've been talking about different parts of the brain that activate during the classic mystic experience. Right. So when it comes into your awareness, it's got to pass through that last pace, the blast brain thing, right? The gateway.
What we find when people talk about third eye dangers is that they're really just talking about fear projections, insecurities, and maybe not finishing the process properly that they had started or got started for them.
So let's kind of clarify what happens in this moment between your third eye has this like pop expansion and it's like, what just happened?
My third eye just popped.
And the time that you make it useful in your life. So imagine a valley that has no water. It's dry.
It's a waterless valley.
And the people in the valley can't grow food and they are starving. So one person has this great idea. Person says, hey, there's this river just over that little mountain right there. If we take a bunch of C4 and blow a big fat fucking hole through the middle of that mountain over there, we'll have plenty of water.
You got to get the accent.
And yay, great idea. Boom. Then flood, then total fear and regret because now the valley is flooded and everybody has to move, right?
So then one person raises their hand in the middle of all this panicking, this entire panicking village and says, hey, why don't we just build a dam system, like a basic dam that controls how much water we need in a given time?
And it's really hard to get the message through because all the villagers are running around screaming. They don't know how. You want the villagers? Here's the villagers. They don't know how to slow down and quiet their minds to find a solution. And years later, they might develop fears that the Sparklets man is really a serial killer. You see how it can like kind of spin out of control, little by little.
And if anybody knows the Sparklets man, he might actually be a serial killer. I don't know.
Some Sparklets,
but it can definitely spin out of control. So now that we have totally flipped the pancake over, we want to know, have you had any kind of an experience like this where that river suddenly blasted through the mountain and you didn't have your blueprint ready to build your dam? Amok. Yes, absolutely. All the villagers running around going, what the heck just happened? Holy shit, we're flooded.
So the main danger that you have.
Let's talk about it.
In a sudden third eye expansion. And I want to call it expansion, not opening, because like I said,
it's already open.
You're dead if your third eye is really literally closed all the way. So a sudden third eye expansion or a sudden unknown heightened sensation is this.
You will have a sudden WTF, mate, shock moment. But it is what happens after that. And that might make it dangerous Neurologically.
Okay. So
Right.
and that's what we're talking about this week is the neurological responses to third eye events. So if you feed the fear response
and the neurological dangers,
right. If you feed the fear response, which feeds your paranoia response, this causes a physiologically icky feeling in the body that is heightened by the thalamus neurologically making the danger feel real, just in case you need to go full caveman or woman.
Or gender neutral, non-binary cave individual.
And basically
fight. Unless you're a pacifier.
Pacifist, honey.
Oh.
Pacifist. And so an anger response now happens, even though it may not feel like you think anger feels in the moment.
Right.
It's sort of this anger got to fight, but it's really on this low key thing. So which then begins to drip reality altering neurochemicals into your logic center and shuts down your higher brain functions.
So at this point, it's not quite bad yet.
Quite simply, you're in fight or flight.
The trouble comes with a sustained fight or flight that can eventually cause a distorted view of reality.
And maybe a deeply ingrained fear of Aquafina.
Not the actress, the bottled water.
Although we're not going to roll her out just yet.
Anybody ever seen Aquafina?
I like Aquafina. She's fun.
She's cool.
So basically, we're all going to hit that fight or flight response when something sudden happens and we're like, what the heck was that?
It's what you do with it.
If we sustain it, that's when it becomes a kind of an issue.
If you live there, that's bad.
Sustaining it kind of means we suppress it. We don't look at it. We're like, oh, right? So
or
you're kind of sustaining
cover it with fears, doubts, insecurities, paranoias, etc.
Or there's lots of demons ready to eat my head.
Or you bounce off and run off into paranoia and bypassing. RB says, whatever you open, never regret it later.
And that is what the expansion is, right? When a third eye expands,
right?
It's a sudden and intense heightening of some kind of sensation.
So do you remember the quickening from Highlander? There can be only one Highlander.
I think you're way more of a Highlander nerd than I am.
Probably.
I don't remember that.
So during hypnosis, for instance, the brain can become hyper aware of sensations and sounds because the hypnotist can intentionally bring the person's awareness into focus and amplify it just by being aware of it. So for example, the ticking of a clock on a wall can be very amplified with somebody who's in hypnosis because their attention has been brought to it.
So same when you have a sudden opening or an intense healing session where a big chunk of healing and rewiring takes place, a sudden change can take place in the brain that does this kind of
very similar to a kind of plant medicine experience. And that one's for you, the dude.
Right. So let me give you an example of a time when the dam burst open for me. This was kind of like a big, like, what am I going to do with this one? So
who brought the C4? Oh.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like a C4 thing. So I was in LA doing a healing session. It was when I was going through my divorce. Intense healing stuff was happening every single week as I was getting rid of all the old shit, trying to open the good shit. My best friend, Trudy, had sent me a plane ticket to go fly across country to have a girls' vacation in St. Paul, Minnesota, where she was living. She was living in North Dakota. We were going to meet. And so I went to LS. I got a healing session on Wednesday, and then I'll drive back to Vegas and I'll fly out on Thursday morning. So went to do my healing session. It was intense. All this stuff was releasing. It was like crying, ugly cry, the whole thing. Drove home, started packing my bags. It got quiet in the house. And suddenly it was like, I could hear all these sounds. It was really intense. I could feel all these things. It was definitely like you had taken off the bandage after eye surgery, and it was really super intense. It was like headache. It was like I felt like I could hear all the neighbors talking. It was so crazy.
It was like Aquafina blinding white.
So I called her and I went, dude, I'm not sure that we put a lid on whatever we did today. She says, no, I think we did. I think we just need to
bring it into balance. Yeah.
So we did kind of a little meditation, and we did a little focusing and kind of did some work over the phone to sort of stabilize it. She goes, lay down, take a nap, let it integrate. And so I did. I lay down, I took a nap, I let it integrate. I said, dude, I do not know if in the morning I can get on a plane at the airport and fly across the country if it's like this. And I'm not trying to miss this vacation because I'm really looking forward to it.
Right.
So I woke up about an hour into this nap, just coughing. and sudden something it was almost like this big gray junk came out, and it was like, whoa, almost like I couldn't breathe for a minute, and then it was like, right, it was like that, and then all of a sudden everything in the room felt like fairies. It was like lights, the big loud noises were gone. It was like all of that stuff stabilized, but it took a little bit of focusing and work and working through the fear that was coming up, because I called it, we worked through the fear that was coming up were not the fears that we released in the session. The fears that were coming up were the fears that what the fuck is happening. It was that sudden fight or flight that I had to just work through.
Might get flooded.
So the next morning was incredible, because I went to the airport. It was like all of these people were incredible. I could see their lights. There was like lights all over. And I was like so happy going through the airport with my bag. And it was like, I wasn't feeling anything overwhelming from the people. It was just joy, and it was intense. And I was really happy to be in this airport full of people, which is the opposite of what you would expect. And I remember the song in the airport music was Joni Mitchell's Free Man in Paris. And I was like, that's the way I feel right now, free man in Paris. And so it was letting go of the fear of the opening for me, which could have held me hostage, and because it was so intense, and finding the gift, because once we got through that fear of opening, which wasn't the session itself, it was the fear itself. Once we worked through that, there was the gift, which was more intense, heightened senses, sensitivities to happiness and joy and good stuff.
And tapping into all the stuff around you without the fear.
Right. It was like suddenly that fear of like being with all these intense emotions and all these, it was gone completely. It was like, wow, this is incredible.
So how do you turn an opening like that into an advantage? The first step is not to turn it over to your caveman or cavewoman or non-binary, gender-neutral cave individual. Turn it over to Yoda, right? Turn it over to your Yoda.
So what does it take? Knowing that you are in control. I had a panic when that happened to me. It was like, and it came out of nowhere. I was fine after the healing session all the way home. It was after I was packing and it was quiet in the house.
There is no cry.
Knowing that you are in control, breathing deep, evaluating, making that phone call to whoever is going to ground you, visualize and build the damn dam.
Yes.
So that was like,
build the damn dam.
So it's
everyone is a dude. So cave dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Imagine turning that sensitivity into the ultimate amazing sensory experience with life itself.
So that is this is the reason that I told you that story,
right?
Because trust me,
I've been there, done that.
I've been through that journey of all the people, and then that moment stepping out of that thing and turning it around. And the session that we had wasn't even really about being overly sensitive. It was about my other shit I was working through.
Right.
But coming face to face with that and realizing, wow, I could turn all those sensitivities I had that were focusing on fears into focusing on this amazing sensation of life. And then suddenly life and people became this incredible buffet of beauty instead of like, I'm going to feel all this energy.
So that might mean looking at your inner beliefs about people.
Right.
Do you see people as basically good or basically bad? That's a really good indicator as to where you're going to be when you have an opening.
Right. So that's kind of a side benefit of what happened to me in that session, because I saw people differently that day.
Right.
And the whole experience changed.
Yes.
You respond to your subconscious beliefs, and I had some in there, obviously.
In less than 1 second.
In less than 1 second.
Right. If that response is fear, evaluate and reprogram. You have the power.
So yeah.
Of Grayskull.
So as much,
I don't know if anybody knows of Grayskull, but
they might all be too young for that. So sometimes when people have a third eye awakening experience, they can be like a really drunk person with amnesia wearing a scary killer clown costume who got lost in a Halloween funhouse, turns around a corner, and then is suddenly confronted by a mirror, screams in terror, not realizing it is just themselves looking back at themselves.
Pennywise much? Anybody know of It, the clown?
So yeah, so that can happen to you. I mean, it's happened to me.
Oh wait, it's just me. Rah.
And that happens when we project our fears out into what we think we're feeling. And I know I've done it. Herman the He-Man.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I am so
See?
excited. I wasn't going to throw that in there, but seeing how many people actually got it, I'm super excited.
I watched it. I had a girl crush on the He-Man cartoon when I was
I almost said girl crush on She-Ra. So when a third eye expansion happens, it is a sign that your brain just had a growth spurt.
Right. So growing things need food.
Don't feed it junk food like the Cheetahs of chaos or Pop-Tarts of paranoia.
The cheetahs? You mean Cheetos?
Cheetahs.
Don't feed
Don't
cheetahs.
feed them cheetahs. Don't feed the cheetahs.
Cheetahs would be healthier than Cheetos, but please don't feed them Cheetahs.
Don't feed the Cheetos of chaos.
Feed it with spinach and avocados and creme brulee and Marcona almonds with balsamic reduction and goat cheese, maybe with a good French Bordeaux. That's what you should feed your brain. So basically, in a nutshell, feed Yoda,
starve Sidious.
So like the Cherokee Indian metaphor says, it depends on the wolf you feed.
Right.
Third eye dangers happen most frequently when you feed the wrong wolf.
Again with the wrong wolf. Damned it all.
Yeah, married an actor. It's my fault. A sudden third eye expansion has to be tamed and mastered. You got to make that phone call. Sometimes it's not as hard as you think. Like it took me a couple hours to work through what happened when I had that, what the heck.
The force is strong with this one.
But if I had surrendered to fear and said, I can't go on the plane, I can't meet you, I can't do all that, then I would have missed one hell of a vacation.
Oh. Anyway, now the water is flowing, right? Build the dam.
Yes.
Build the dam already, right? And then the sluices, whatever those are.
Sluices are those things that go and the water comes through. You control how much water comes through.
So it's like a guillotine or guillotine for the water.
Well, dams let water through. They bring water to places that have none. They're like the blood-brain barrier, not like an impenetrable wall. It's a filtration system, right?
That ends up getting the fields irrigated, right? It's a filtration system.
Yes.
Got to keep it penetrated.
Stop. We're stopping. I promise.
We find that when you understand the function of the mystical parts of your brain, it becomes a hell of a lot easier to access it.
So like we've been saying all week, we're living in a new age where we actually do know how this stuff works, where you understand on a chemical brain level what's going on and exactly what parts of the brain are firing when you tap in.
We actually have the science to prove it. And you just have to strip away all the speculation and all the paranoia, all this stuff, and be as healthy as we can without being paranoid. Grow your brain, chill out, and tap in.
Yes, it's your brain. It's how it works.
Yes.
But be sure to catch the other videos in this playlist in the link below. This is video number 7 of 7 on the mystical third eye meets neuroscience.
The mystical third eye meets neuroscience. So stay tuned for empathic badassery starting in the next video.
We will be back to chop it up with our hashtag YouTube fam faster than 2 shakes of a unicorn's tail after he's pooped rainbow frosting on your carpet.
So if you like this video, hit that like button.
And if you have questions,
Oh.
And if you have questions about Zen Ed Academy, use the link below to see if the Academy is right for you.
And for more live hangouts, behind the scenes secrets, and mind hacking pro tips,
Be sure to subscribe.
And spank that bell to turn notifications on.
God, the spank the bell is now a thing. Dear God, help me. So you're the first to know
when we drop a new video, drop a new video.
Or go live.
And we know that time is a valuable and precious resource, and the fact that you guys have chosen to spend that with us, we absolutely honor and appreciate that. But most importantly, that you are here to take your life, your business, and your mind to a completely new level. We honor and appreciate that even more. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video over here or over here. There it is. Thanks for joining us. Catch you around.